So the one thing that I don't like about my current solution to the executioner is that I have a couple of different methods that are going through and doing essentially the same thing, going through and figuring out if we have a true in there. And so I wanted to combine them, but originally I thought maybe that would just be too confusing. But so I will say, if you are happy with yours, you can leave it just as it is. But I would like to beef up this method a little bit to incorporate the reporting aspect. And I think partly that is because I want to get the reporting out of a submethod and let myself report from main in whatever format I want. Here we go. So here's what I'd like to do. You see how down here I made an integer array of just 2 ints that will store those index numbers? Well, it'd be nice if I could require that if you're calling only 2 are alive, that you pass an array of this kind in order to hold the 2 indexes. Maybe I'll only fill them in if I return true. So let's put that in English. Array to hold the true indexes must be 2 elements long. This will only be filled in if method is returning true. Well, yeah. We know enough to do this at this point in our studies here. There's some other ways you could do this, but let's continue with this because it involves arrays and what we know how to do already. So int 2 true indices. I think that kind of naming scheme hopefully will alert the user to what's going to happen. So we're only ever going to fill in 2 of these anyway, so that's why it has to be at least 2 long. Okay, here we're gonna go here. If war is is equal to true, we have num trues plus plus. Also, we'll have a true indices index. Keep track of that. If true index, same check as I was doing below, is less than 2, then we'll fill it in. I don't really like having a 2 in here. It's rubbing me the wrong way, but I'm going to leave it for now. This could potentially be another constant, or it could be passed in as a parameter or something. That's pretty much all I need to do here. Now I can get rid of all this business. Maybe I'll save that so I don't have to retype it. Get rid of that whole method. And then I can do the reporting down here in main, which just, by calling only 2 are alive. So that kind of just makes me feel a little better. And I'll put them here. Int true indices. So int 2. And I could even set them to negative, not to 1 like that. To -1, something that would be obviously not anything. And then down here at the bottom, I can report where I was reporting which true. I could just call this and say the warrior is left alive, or it seats, what did I call them? True indexes. I think this format appeals to me a little bit more because I like having the printout happen in main, and I like not having to do the same work twice. If up here I can just go through it once and fill in that a little piece of extra information. And this is also similar to the histogram examples that are in the chapter, so hopefully that will draw some connections for you also. Let's give it a try and then we'll be done. except that it won't build. True index equals I. That was because I need to use my square brackets. Two true indexes sub true index equals I. One day, maybe I'll be able to oh yeah. One day maybe I'll be able to code and talk at the same time, but so far it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so my problems were now I need to change my parameters wherever I'm calling that. So here I need to pass my warriors array, and I need to pass my true indexes array. Now that I have added a parameter, and I need to do it in my unit tests also up here, which means blah equals new int 2 and testing blah. Okay. Yes. Yes. Tough times here. Obviously doing something wrong. Good thing I've already run a bunch of tests already, so I know what I'm expecting. See, this is when it's nice to have the -1 in here, because I know for sure something is bogus there. So nice initializing value. Very good. Not so happy that it's 15 and -1, but let's see why not. Why did that happen in a second? So it must be here. That's happening in this call. That's the only time I'm really printing it out, and I'm sure it's because I'm trying to talk and code at the same time. And it is because I'm not making my true index go up after I set the first one. I did it correctly in the previous method, but I didn't do it here, and that is the problem. That is the trouble. Fix that. There we go. So there it gives you some options for some various ways that you can structure the methods. Again, there's not really one perfect, true way to do those methods, but this was just something that appealed to me, this taking the second array. So think about it, think about what makes sense to you. You'll develop your own style over time also as you get to know arrays a little better.